For our thriller film Cradle, we decided to target an audience between the ages of 15 and 21, as our film was certified as 15 via the British Board of Film Classification Guidelines. And teens and young adults of this age are the stereotypical audience for the psychological thrillers. We also used the website UK Tribes to research a specific tribe or social group that would be the main audience for our product. After studying the tribes, we all agreed that goths were the audience that would most like Cradle, because it is a dark psychological thriller in terms of plot and also mise-en-scene. According to UK Tribes, goths originated in Britain around 30 years ago and wear dark clothes, makeup and hate sunlight. As well as the dark setting, we believe our teen and young adult goth audience would be attracted to our film because of a number of features. For example, the costume that our villain wears is heavily influenced by army culture and uniform. In our research of goths, we found they like to wear military-inspired clothing such as boots or trench coats. So as well as the gas mask, which is to scare the audience, our villain wears army boots, which will attract our target audience.
Because our media product is a small-scale production with a small budget and our audience is goths, we believe the best way to distribute Cradle will be through the use of video sharing websites such as YouTube and Vimeo. This is because it is a free method of sharing media online, and our tribe's research shows that today, goths are influenced by cyber culture and things they find on websites such as YouTube. We would also distribute our film in this way as it makes it easier for our film to be shared on sites such as Facebook and Twitter. With our results showing that most of our goth movement exists online and almost all 15 to 21 year olds in this country having internet access, it would mean Cradle could potentially go viral with the help of the goth community and amass a large number of views without having to spend a penny of the small budget on distribution. When creating Cradle, we decided that we wanted to use some key forms and conventions of thrillers to ensure that it had a good sense of a true thriller. A convention that we use to good effect is a non-diegetic sound that often in thrillers contrasts with the theme of the film. For example, in the psychological thriller The Woman in Black, where a music box sound is used to create tension.
So, you're from London, trying to sell Eel Marsh House?
Yes.
You won't find a local buyer.
In Cradle, we use nursery rhyme Rockabye Baby with a high-pitched female vocals to unnerve our audience.
Rockabye baby in the treetop, when the wind blows the cradle will rock, when the bough breaks the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all.
This is unnerving and chilling because nursery rhymes are associated with calmness and safety, but used in this context in psychological thrillers, they create tension well. Forms and conventions of thriller films that we challenged included using non-diegetic sound or dialogue and leaving our characters anonymous. The effect this had in Cradle is that it would keep the audience hooked after the introduction that we made, as they would want to find out more about the characters and the story of the villain. The absence of diegetic sound in our film also adds to the mystery of the relationship between the characters and the setting that they are in. This is not normally used in thrillers, as diegetic sounds such as footsteps are often used to try and create tension. However, we felt they had greater effect with no diegetic sound.
We feel that our thriller certainly represents members of the middle class, as there are clues in the setting of the film to show that the character is a member of the middle class. For example, the close-up shot of the television shows they have the money to be able to afford luxuries, and the size of the bedroom and rooms coming off the hallway to show that the house is fairly large, which we associate with the middle class. We use this setting as it makes up a large proportion of the British society, so a large number of people will be able to relate to the setting, which may give the psychological horror side of the film more in effect. as they could imagine this happening in their own home. This is also why we didn't want to include an establishing shot of the house itself, as we felt this would detract from the mysterious nature of the film. When completing the research tasks for our thriller films, we mainly use the internet and websites such as Internet Movie Database for film information, Wikipedia for facts and other knowledge, and YouTube to find relevant clips and import them to our PB works. These clips gave our research a different, more visual element to what we could have achieved without PB Works' online workspace. To edit our film, we used Sony Movie Studio Platinum 12. This was a piece of software that we had never used before. Despite this, we found that it was a very intuitive piece of software which we quickly got used to, and if there was an area of editing we were struggling with, such as laying titles over our shots, then we were able to use the tutorials on Sony Movie Studio to learn the process. One problem we did have with the technology was after rendering Cradle for the first time, it became clear that it was too dark and in poor quality, so we had to revisit our colour correction and make the shots lighter than we would have liked, so that they were clearly visible.
The main difference between our preliminary task and our final through production is the use of diegetic sound. In our preliminary task, in the absence of hitting Cradle, we felt that in our preliminary task, the diegetic sound and the dialogue made the film seem less professional, as the sound quality from the camera wasn't very good.
What if I don't want to sign it? It seems more than reasonable. So if you don't fucking sign it, my friend's got a problem with you.
We also decided that in our preliminary task, we introduced the characters too quickly and did not build up the tension enough. This is why in our final production, we learned to use a long introduction with no characters to set the scene better and built up the tension for the audience.